I always give away too much. It's like I've got no sense of touch. I'm always pouring out my heart, no little by little here. I'm always pushing things too far. 2, 5, 6, 10 drinks at the bar. No boundaries, I get too close. No little by little.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. My name is Cambria. I'm so glad you guys decided to join me in this cleaning motivation. We have a ton going on today. We're going to be doing some deep cleaning in the bathroom, power washing the bathroom and kitchen rug, as well as a family-friendly and family-favorite recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you guys as well. There's so much going on today, and I hope this gets you motivated to tackle something on your to-do list.
I see no limits in the sky, no little by little here. No, got stuck on working on myself. Thought I was wrong and needed help, but I'm just different, something else. No little by little here, 'cause I get my
So I actually have 2 sets of sheets, but lately I have been obsessed with cleaning the sheets and putting them on right out of the dryer. There's just something about that, like freshly cleaned, little bit of bleach smell, which I know sounds weird, on the bedding that I have loved. I love having 2 sets of sheet because there are definitely days where I just, okay, Bobby's little photo bomb here. He was grabbing something off the table and got in front of the camera. Oh, he's such a goofball. But no, I love having 2 sets of sheets because there are days that I just don't have the willpower to like wait until all the bedding's done and remake the bed and whatnot. But on today, I just wanted to throw it in the wash, and then it also gave me the opportunity to deep clean the mattress and deodorize it. So you're going to see here in a bit that I'm going to sprinkle some baking soda on it, and I let it sit on there all day until the bedding was done. So there is some controversy with baking soda on your mattress, and I totally get it because it can hurt your vacuums. So a lot of people like to use like shop vacs and things like that. However, I use my shop vac for a lot of things, and I'm not about to use it on my mattress. So what I do to prevent the damage of my vacuum is I thoroughly clean the filters before and after I do anything like this. So that means completely taking the vacuum apart and cleaning it. I've noticed that makes a big difference. But now I'm just moving into the bathroom. I'm not doing anything too crazy in here. You can tell I wiped my hands on my shirt full of baking soda. But wiping everything down, the big thing is I wanted to get this rug clean, and it does not clean well with the carpet shampooer. I think it's because of the texture of the rug. So I did want to take it outside and give it a good power washing. You guys are not going to believe how satisfying and good this rug looks afterwards. If you guys follow me for a while, you know the bathroom is one of the spots that Bailey, our St. Bernard, loves to sleep. So needless to say, the rug and the grout gets really dirty between him just being dirty from going in and out of the house, and then he's a St. Bernard, so the drool and everything else that goes along with it.
what I am, I'll shine again. I'll be free.
I just wanna hold you. I just wanna look into your eyes and tell you that I want you. You know you make me feel so alive. Can't stop thinking about you day and night. Love it when you kiss me, love it when we touch.
Now, once I'm done giving this bathroom a quick vacuum, I'm going to be working on the grout. Now, my number one, by far, favorite grout cleaner is the Zep grout cleaner. But it's intense. It's not something you want to do all the time on your grout, but it works like magic. I'm not using that today, but I wanted to put that out there because I absolutely love that stuff. I also love this vacuum and how it can like contort itself to get under places. But what I'm actually going to be using today is toilet bowl cleaner with the bleach. This works really well. I just put it right on all the grout lines. I let it sit for maybe 5 minutes, and I go in and scrub all of the grout down. This little Rubbermaid scrubber I use on so many different things in my house. I highly recommend it. You can get away with just using like a toothbrush, but there's just something about having the power scrubbers that make a huge difference. This one actually came with a bunch of different heads. So like I said, use it all over the house. It works really, really well. Allows me to get in all the nooks and crannies. You'll see I'm doing the grout, but I'm also doing along the edges. So along the edges of the baseboards, the tile by the shower, everywhere with this, just to make sure that those areas that the vacuum and mop don't get as well, I'm getting in and really scrubbing. And then once I let that sit for like another 5 minutes after scrubbing, I'm going in. This is just water. I'm purely going in and rinsing the floor. Trust me, there's plenty of product on the floor that you do not need a mopping solution. Really hot water, and I go over it multiple times. The first time is just getting like the majority of it up. And then I will rinse it and wring it out really well and go over it a couple more times just to make sure that everything is cleaned off. But you can see how much better that grout looks. It's mainly right by the door that gets really bad because that's usually where Bailey's face is. All right, once I was all done with that, it was time to head outside. I didn't even realize how dirty this was until I started this process. I actually wasn't even planning on doing the kitchen rug, which you'll see coming up later in the video. But when I saw how well this worked, I just wanted to do it on everything, at least everything that doesn't wash well with a typical shampooer. Actually, I kind of wish our giant rugs I could easily take outside and do this too, but they're just too big. But this works so well. I'm just using a multi-purpose soap solution in my power washer. It's actually, I don't even know what it's called. It's something Bobby bought. It's an exterior multi-purpose cleaner. So I sprayed that on and then I just went to town. This was not a great angle because my camera got very wet, but don't worry, I will change angles in a second and you can see the pretty dramatic transformation of this rug. All right, so this is a much better angle. I knew this rug was dirty, but I just, you know when something gets so dirty that you don't even realize how dirty it is? That is where I was at with this. I was doing it in sections, honestly, just because for me it was satisfying to see the like transformation of where I had power washed to where I hadn't. And it was pretty insane. I did take it up a notch by letting this hang out in the sun. If you don't know, the next best bleach agent other than bleach is literally the sun. So I knew I wanted to take advantage of letting this hang on the line to dry completely. But look at that line. That's literally all dirt that this power washer is taking off. I loved doing this. It's the little things sometimes that are so satisfying, but power washing this rug, insane.
I was hoping maybe that you'd cross my path. I've been sinking lately, and it's hard to move. Think I'm stuck on you. We're in transits, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed.
I definitely believe that if you own a home, a power washer is one of those tools that is a must. It can be an investment, and I do recommend paying a little bit more. Don't go super cheap, but we have the Ryobi brand, which is not like high end, and it works really, really well. But I definitely think if you are a homeowner, this is a must-have investment in your house to clean your siding, your windows. There's just so many things that a power washer comes in handy. Also, you guys can't even tell, I was struggling so hard with this to get it up there because it was heavy, because it was wet. So it made it look easier because this is in time lapse, but it was a struggle, and I gave it a quick rinse again just to make sure all the dirt was off. But moving inside, I am just cleaning up the kitchen. Of course, Freya's already always around. I actually added that pantry a little magnet on the baseboard to help keep it closed. Also try to encourage the kids to shut it more often because they always leave the pantry open.
True survivor, standing tall amongst the brave. It's time to rise up, yelling glory to the saved. And we fall, we reign, we rise again. The fall, the pain, we try so hard to feel safe.
Now I'm just cleaning out some of my bigger things I knew wouldn't really fit well in the dishwasher. If it's late at night and I can fit it into the dishwasher, I will and just run it overnight. However, if I'm doing this earlier in the afternoon, I try and do my bigger items by hand. That way the dishwasher stays open and I can keep filling it throughout the day. Or obviously, if I have a bunch of little pieces, that's going to go in the dishwasher first, and I'll clean these bigger pots and pans because I would much rather clean 3 or 4 pots and pans than a million forks and spoons and glasses.
Time, feel myself decline, lose myself till my heartbeat stops. But we fall, we reign, we rise again. The fall, the pain, we try so hard to feel sane. It's all in our brains, always keeping us ready.
All right, though, I do want to do a quick check-in for all of you guys. I'm pretty sure we're all pretty good into summer break. All of our kids are off. I think that's pretty consistent across the country now. How are you guys doing? How are we figuring out our routine? I always love when my kids come home. Some people think that it's complaining talking about the hecticness of kids being off of school when you're used to them being at school all day. And it's definitely not complaining, but 100%, there is a whole new routine that you learn. You now have more mouths to feed, more things to clean throughout the day because you got more hands getting things dirty. So we have doing pretty good. We're getting in the routine. I think the kids are trying to still get used to it. The fact that they aren't asked once a day to do something. They're asked multiple times a day to help with stuff. I think they're still getting used to, but I had to tell them literally today, I was like, hey, you're home all day, so these messes happen more often, and if we stay on top of it, it's easier in the long run. So we definitely are getting our routine down, but it's still a little bit of a work in progress. But I swear it's always one of those things of the routine is down, jam-packed, and then they'll go back to school.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me break it. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me.
So the recipe I'm sharing later is actually my family's homemade noodle recipe and popovers. We were hosting this weekend our family. If you guys follow, you know that every Sunday we have family dinner, and it's either at my house, my parents' house, or my aunt and uncle house. We kind of rotate, and this week it was for us. Actually, we hadn't had it at our house in a month because when the AC wasn't working, I was like, no, we do not need 4 more grown adults in this house heating it up more than it already is. But so many of you guys have been asking about these quail eggs. So I am going to be showing you because popovers and homemade noodles use a lot of eggs. So I figured this would be fun to share because a lot of people had these questions. Also going in and giving the sink a really good scrub. I love scrubbing my sink. There is just something about a clean sink and a shiny sink that I absolutely love. Now, like I said, I knew I wanted to do this kitchen rug. Also, this one wasn't nearly as bad, but it still made a pretty massive difference to get out here and power wash it and spray it down and everything. The white yarn definitely looks a lot different. Also, I know I mentioned it a couple of videos back that Bobby and I picked up our family vlog channel again. And I say Bobby and I, it's more Bobby. He is doing them. I think we've posted 2 videos now on that channel. He's trying to post every single Sunday. So if you guys didn't know, we do have a channel. It's just called Cambriea and Bobby, and it's more fun stuff, family stuff, a little bit of everything. He is so goofy. Like, I laugh when I watch it, and it's totally not my editing style, but that's okay. It's his channel. He can do what he wants, but he's definitely having a lot of fun with learning all the different things you can do with the power of editing. All right, now into the family room. I clean the family room at least twice a day. At least. It kind of depends on how messy it gets, but I do try and pick it up twice a day just because Freya plays with everything and she will bring everything out. I do often make her help me. I don't always make her help me. Sometimes it's just quicker and easier to do it myself. And actually, on this day, she was in her room and I was bringing her the stuff to put away because her room was also a disaster. You guys see her room all the time, and it's always like a hot mess. It's why I had to do that huge decluttering. But she's getting better at keeping it clean, at least when I ask her to. She is also potty training. She is doing so well. She is going to be 3 in August. Yes, I'm thinking September, but that's the boys. She's gonna be 3 in August. And the boys actually didn't potty train till they were 3.5. So she's potty training almost an entire year before both the boys did. And I am absolutely thrilled. Not great timing because we're literally going on a road trip to Wisconsin in a couple weeks. But better late than never. Or, well, better now than never. So I'm working with it. If she is in the mood, we're going to do it, and we will figure it out on the road. She'll probably just still wear pull-ups in the car, and whenever we stop, we'll make her go. But yeah, she's been doing amazing. I think we're on day like 4 or 5 of her potty training, and she hasn't had any wet accidents and only 2 number 2 accidents. So not horrible. She is still wearing pull-ups at night though.
Take it on myself. This can't be. Take your time and make very sure that you've made up your mind. I know you don't let anything go easy, and if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to see you one more time to tell you what's been on my mind.
Dance, dance, dance. Freya's dancing. Dance, dance, dance. Freya's dancing.
Slowly, slowly. Slowly.
Oh, is it coming back for you?
Oh, he's gonna get you. That robot's always trying to get you too, Freya.
Slowly.
Now you can dance. Oh, it's coming back.
See Chris Carr following on Instagram.
Oh, whoosh. All right, you're good. Go dance.
See that thing I sent you on Instagram? It's gross.
It's coming back? Dance, dance, Freya.
Crazy big dancer.
All right, I had to share that because I just thought it was so cute. It is not worth worrying about people walking on clean floors when you have a family of 3 kids, 2 dogs, a husband, me. Like, there's too many of us, so I just thought it was cute that she was dancing around and then running away from the vacuum every time it came through. But as you can see, we moved into the bedroom, and I'm going to be vacuuming off this baking soda. That way I can put the mattress and everything back together. But so I was bringing up the potty training mainly because I have to tell you, with my boys, I always felt so defeated. Like, they took so long to potty train. And I had one friend, sweet girl, loved her, but she had all of her, well, she had 2 kids. Her son and her daughter were both fully potty trained by a 1.5 years. Like, nighttime, daytime, everything. And when I was younger, because I had Xander at 21, I felt so inadequate and like, what am I doing wrong? And then on top of that, you get the people that come and tell you like, did you try this? Oh, well, did you try that? And it's like, I've literally tried everything. And then same with Bjorn. It was the exact same situation of my girlfriend had a kid right around the same time, 1.5 years, fully potty trained. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I felt like I was doing something wrong. Like, I was not a good mom. And I have now learned that it is okay to wait till your kids are ready. And the nice thing about when I waited with the boys and here with Freya is I don't deal with the accidents like all my friends did who tried potty training too soon. Now, they were able to get their kids out of diapers sooner than I was with mine. But sometimes you just never know. Each kid is completely different. For Bjorn, little prizes was his like incentive to use the potty when he was ready. For Xander, it was because Bjorn was born and he didn't want to be treated like a baby. And since the baby was in diapers, he didn't want to be in diapers. Freya, it's been candy, which I don't love that it's candy, but at the same time, if the girl will use the bathroom for a Starburst, I will give her that Starburst. But just putting it out there because I feel like often we feel judged by others, especially moms. Like, we always want to be like motivating to each other, but I feel often like even if it's not on purpose, we can feel so judged and like put down by other moms. And I want to tell you that Freya's 2.5, the boys were 3.5. Like, everyone is so different. And I'm sure in some ways, like, you'll be like, oh, your kids clean up after yourself. You're doing such a good job. And then there's other things that it's like, you probably had your kid potty trained well before I had mine. Kids learn differently. Households are totally different. And as long as your kids are learning and growing and having fun and healthy, don't judge yourself, and definitely do not compare yourself to me.
What's it gonna be? Are we gonna do this or not? I really need to know if you're in or out. You don't have to say the words, just look in my eyes. Tell me, friend, oh, can't you?
All right, quick question for you guys, for people that have king size beds. Buying a comforter has been a struggle. I love this comforter, but if I go the long way, it's great. It goes to the edge and then it pulls all the way up to the top, but it doesn't cover the sides of my mattress. If I do it the other way, if I turn it, it covers the sides, but then it doesn't go all the way up to the top of the bed, which drives me crazy. What size do you guys buy if you want to like fully cover your bed? When we had a queen size mattress, it was easy. I bought a king size comforter and it covered the way I liked it to cover, but here it did not. But now into the recipe. This is just making the chicken broth with in the crock pot. This was super easy. I had a thing of chicken broth and then some water with the meat, and I let it just simmer for hours. Now going to make the noodles, I am making a large batch. Like I said, we were hosting family, but average rule of thumb is for every cup of flour is 1 egg. So I did 3 cups of flour, and since I am using quail eggs, I'm actually using 4 eggs to every 1 chicken egg. We have a ton of quail eggs. Our girls are rock star layers, so this was a great way to use a lot of our fresh quail eggs. The one thing I did notice though, and I think it's because it has a higher yolk to white ratio than a chicken egg, is I needed to use more water than normal. Normally, if I did 1 cup of flour, 1 egg, salt, of course, I would use half an eggshell worth of water. Obviously, I wasn't using the eggshells here since I was trying to figure this out. So I always start light on the water and then add. You want your dough to be a drier dough. Like, you want it to fully form, but it's not a wet dough. You want it to be a drier dough, and then it's just a lot of kneading and by eye and playing with it. This is definitely one of those things that if you know someone who makes noodles, ask them to come over and make it with you, because a lot of it has to do with feel, texture, and just years of doing it. Like I said, this has been a family recipe forever. It was my great-grandmother's recipe and definitely a family favorite. But once I made the dough, I let it set for maybe 30 minutes on the counter for all of it to come together. And then I roll it out as thin as possible. I actually have to use the kids' little step stool when I'm rolling out the dough because I need to be higher up. I'm short and it's a lot easier when you have some height. And then I use a pizza cutter and I just cut thin little strips. Once you do this, you want to let those strips sit on your counter floured for about an hour to dry out. But like I said, keep it thin. When I first started making noodles, the biggest issue I had is I made them too thick. The thinner is better. Like, don't go super, super thick. And like I said, make sure you keep them floured so they don't stick together. I also normally do this on a pot on the stove when it's just me, Bobby, and the kids. However, since once again this was going to be for family coming over, I did it in the crock pot today. One, my crock pot's a lot bigger, and two, it could stay warm the whole time before people came. But now onto the popovers. I'm starting by preheating my oven to 400 degrees, and then I am filling with about a teaspoon of oil in each of these muffin tins. I do have popover tins, but since I was making more than just our family worth, I'm using these muffin tins. Put them in the oven while it's preheating. This is a crucial point. Now I'm making a double batch. Normally I would use 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of milk, and then you use, 3 eggs. That's a normal recipe. So for quail eggs, instead of 3 eggs, I am using 12. Like I said, we wanted to use up some of these eggs. Our girls have been laying amazing, and we had a lot of them. I do save the shells though for my girls because it's a good source of calcium. So that's why I'm putting in this container, is I do end up grinding them and giving them to them in their sand bath. It helps with their calcium intake. But then I pull the pans out, they're scorching hot, and then fill each tin about halfway. You're going to notice that it like almost starts to fry it immediately, and then back into the oven for 30 minutes, and they're going to come out absolutely beautiful.
Looked at the world through rose-colored glasses. You had your goals, then you
Look how amazing those look. I did forget to add salt on this day, so highly recommend add about a teaspoon of salt to your recipe as well. We use salted butter, so it wasn't like the end of the world. But look at this little setup. I got some homemade noodles with the popover, and then my parents and Aunt and Uncle brought some sides as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you next time. Bye.